You can never be too careful with photo and licensing. I once got in trouble for using a photo that was copyrighted. The photo was included with something I downloaded online for free, and I assumed all the contents inside were also free. Little did I know a large stock photo company sent me a bill for the use of the photo. Oops, a $1,400 mistake. How do I make sure all photos I use for projects, both personal and paid for clients, are safe to use? There are a few things you need to know when buying and downloading free photos. First of all, I like to start with the easy, free-to-use licenses, as they seem to be less complicated in nature with no strings attached. These are the Creative Commons Zero, are sometimes seen as CC0 when listing the type of license the photo uses. Take for example Pexels.com or Pixabay. Most photos on these websites are open source and free to use. They come with a CC0 or Creative Commons Zero license. These are as free to use as it gets. You don't have to even provide attribution or a link back to the original author, although it's still nice to do. They still come with a few rules, which you can look at on each photo, and you cannot resell the image without modifying it significantly. You can also not offer it as a free download on your own website. You never own the photo, you're just free to use it for projects for both commercial, paid, and personal use. Creative Commons is a common form of open source photo licensing. They come with a few stages of protection for the author of the photo. It is good to understand these different types of licensing as you hunt down free photos, as they will let you know if you need to offer a link or small print giving credit to the original author or not, or if you have the ability to use that free photo for commercial use. Remix culture allows you to remix or combine this photo and alter it in some way to create a different or unique picture. Take, for example, a double exposure of two images. I'm on Wikipedia, for example, and typed in graphic design. I click on the first photo available and I look down at the license for each photo. If I want to use this photo in one of my videos, I am free to do so because it's marked as public domain. This photo has been released to the public and there's no license attached to it. I have noticed a few photos later on that's titled CC BY SA 3.0. This is a Creative Commons license. If I look back at the chart or click on the license, you can read all about what you need to do to be able to use this photo. In this case, I would need to give some sort of attribution to the author when using this photo. So we talked about free photos, but what about paid stock photography? What are the rules there? Not all paid stock photography is the same. You'll sometimes see two different types of licensing levels that you could purchase with a stock photo, and you need to pay attention to how you're going to use it, because maybe you need the higher priced extended license and not even know it. Each photo license is different depending on both the platform and the author. For example, on this photo, a standard license would be 3 credits or $33 and would allow me to use it on items that would be printed or appear on less than 500,000 items. But I cannot use it on physical products for resale, a t-shirt for example, although I can use it for a printed poster. I just can't sell that poster online for a price, but I can use it as a design, for a client poster for example. If I planned on multiple users or computers being able to use this photo, I do need to purchase an extended license for this photo. The word multi-seat is a term to explain this concept of multiple users being able to download and use this photo for your company, for example. Also, if I wanted to place this item on something that's going to be printed on more than 500,000 items, you are going to need the extended license for this photo. Also, if I wanted to sell my poster design and use this photo as a part of it, I'm going to need the extended license for this photo. Each photo will have different stipulations for when you need a standard license and when you'll need the extended license. A lot of people think they can purchase a standard stock photo license and place it in their photo library and continue to use it client after client. But if I buy a photo for client A's brochure, I cannot use it again for client B's poster until I purchase a second license for that client. It would not be very fair to the original photographer if I did so, as I'm using it for 2 different clients, but they only got paid once for the photo. Also, I think some people make the mistake of purchasing a standard license on a photo and placing it on a coffee mug, for example, for resale. What they needed was the extended license. There's a pretty big penalty to placing a photo on a graphic or a t-shirt without the proper license. Remember, not all graphics need to be purchased. Try to create your own, or combine it with several different free-to-use graphic resources that have open license, and create something unique. Do not make the same mistake I did and assume a photo you received in a free template you found online is free to use as well and totally legal. Double check the license of a free downloaded template to make sure the photo is covered or is an open Creative Commons photo. Interested in contributing a photo or image to the Creative Commons cause? Visit creativecommons.org/choose and pick the type of license you want to create for your photo. Then whenever you post your photo for free, you can attach a license to it to let others know what they need to do to properly use your photo, if anything at all.